She took my husband. So I took her father and her honeymoon suite. And yes, she had to serve us champagne at her own wedding reception. My name is Elena Carter. I'm 36 and I live in Miami, Florida. I met my husband, Brian, when I was 28. He was charming, funny, and ambitious, an architect of big dreams. We built our life together over 8 years of marriage. I worked as an interior designer, and together we were the dream creative couple designing homes, attending art galas, and throwing dinner parties for our friends. One of my closest friends during those years was Megan. She was 29, bubbly, and had a habit of making every man in the room notice her. But she was also my gym partner, brunch buddy, and shoulder to cry on when Brian and I had our occasional arguments. Brian and Megan seemed friendly, but I thought nothing of it. After all, she dated younger guys, and Brian and I were solid. Or so I believed. It started small. Brian suddenly began dressing sharper for late meetings. Megan started skipping brunches with me, claiming she was too busy, but somehow still posting selfies at rooftop bars. Then came the subtle digs from Brian comments about how Megan was so adventurous and knew how to have fun. I brushed it off as harmless, until one night I overheard a half-whispered phone call from the kitchen. "I can't wait to see you again." She has no idea. When I asked who it was, he said it was a client. My gut told me otherwise. The truth hit me like a freight train. A month later, I was scrolling through Instagram when a photo stopped me cold. Brian and Megan on a weekend getaway in Key West. Her caption read, "Living my best life." The comments were full of heart emojis from friends who apparently knew all along. I didn't confront them right away. I needed to think. That night, I called my lawyer. Within weeks, I had divorce papers ready. Brian didn't even fight it. He moved in with Megan, and they paraded their relationship online like nothing happened. But Karma? She had just taken a seat in the audience. A few months later, I attended a charity auction where I met a man named Richard. Distinguished, silver-haired, with a laugh that could fill a room. We hit it off immediately. Over dinner, he revealed something that made me nearly choke on my wine. Richard was Megan's father. He knew exactly who I was. He also knew exactly what Megan and Brian had done, and he wasn't impressed with either of them. Our connection was instant, mutual respect, shared humor, and a spark I didn't expect. 6 months later, Richard proposed. We decided to get married quietly, but Richard had one request. He wanted to host the reception at the same luxury hotel Megan had booked for her upcoming wedding to Brian, because Richard owned it. When Megan's big day came, the hotel was bustling not just for her wedding, but for hours. She had no idea. After her ceremony, she came to the lobby to see us meet in a designer gown, Richard in a tux, champagne in hand. Her jaw dropped. I smiled sweetly and said, "Don't worry, honey will be out of your suite in a week. It's perfect for a honeymoon." Megan and Brian's marriage barely lasted a year. From what I hear, they blamed each other for everything. As for Richard and me, we travel, we laugh, and we live without games or betrayal. Moral: sometimes revenge doesn't require shouting or schemes, just choosing happiness in a way that forces them to watch. And when Karma wants to make a point, she booked the suite herself. Subscribe to SilkMirror for more stories where betrayal meets poetic justice.